Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Welcome to the Colorado Shines webinar on navigating the Colorado Shines website and the Colorado Shines online system for programs. My name is Karen Imboden. I'm the Quality Rating and Improvement System Manager here at the Office of Early Childhood, and I'm happy to walk you through this process today. We're going to be walking through how to get your logon and how to navigate the Provider Colorado Shines homepage. So when you sign into coloradoshines.com, you'll get this front page. In this section for programs, you will click in here. You can click right here, or you can also click up here in the Login tab. So either way will get you where you need to go. Then here again, you can log into QRAS here, or you can also navigate the Colorado Shines website. And I want to be sure and let you know that there are some resources for you as programs on the website. So right here, if you click on the Welcome tab, you will be welcomed into the website, and down yes, so we actually have, when you log in, a video from we're going into the live site, a video from Lieutenant Governor Garcia welcoming programs. But most importantly, I wanted to show you where some of the resources are. So bear with us again. So as you go down to the bottom of the page here, we have a resources tab for you. And down in this section, you will find the point structure guide for programs that are striving for quality levels 3, 4, and 5. You will also find Colorado Shines 6 steps to PDIS success, Colorado Shines PDIS self-assessment, and the Colorado Shines QRAS fact sheets. As we begin to build more references, resources for you, this is where you'll be able to find these resources. So we wanted to be sure that you understood that those were there. So once you sign in to the Colorado Shines website for the first time, you're going to register as a new user. So you're going to click on Register, and it will ask you for your license number. So you will need to associate to a license number here. You'll put in your license number and hit Submit. Now you're going to establish some information here. By putting in your email address, your name, title and phone are great, but these are the required fields. And then once you have your email address in there, you'll click Save. And you'll get a pop-up email at the top that says you've registered successfully. Now, and it says you will receive an email shortly. So you're going to receive an email. In the email information that you just populated, you will receive an email link. We're going to show you what that looks like. And there you go. So it'll come into your inbox from QRAS, and it'll say, Welcome to QRAS, with a little welcome. And if you click or paste this into your URL, it'll take you to set up your own personalized password. Then you will save that. And then it will bring you to your personalized home page. So as you will see on this home page, it'll have your program's name, your county, your license number. All of this information will be populated based on what is in the Trails system. So whatever you are licensed under and your license number is where this information is populated from. So this is your personalized homepage, and as you can see right now, the program is at a level 1 because they're just starting their journey through the quality process. This is a licensed provider. I'm scrolling down the page a little bit to show you what you can do on this home page. So as you can see under your program profile, there's some information here. Again, this is populated based on what is in Trails, but you can go in here and edit this. What you can't edit is what comes out of Trails, but what you can edit is this information in here. So you might want to put in your email address. If you have a website, you can populate here, a Facebook page, Pinterest, or Twitter account, so that this is information that parents will see when they search for your program on the website. Put in your director's name, please. This information does not populate from Trails, so we'd like for you to be sure that that information is populated. So, and then always, 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 when you see a save button, hit the save button. I just can't stress that enough, and I'll say it probably a few more times. There's nothing more frustrating than losing data when you put something into a new program that you're getting used to. So always save when you can do that. So you will always have the option to go back and edit this at any point in time on those editable fields. If you are not seeing what you think the name of your program should be, it's more than likely that it is not licensed that way. And if you do need to change, make a change to the name or any other licensed information, back on the Colorado Shines website, there is a link for all of the licensing forms, and you can access that information right there. We're trying to get everything in one place for you. We'll continue to build those resources for you at this site. So one of the absolute really cool, if you will, let me say that, things about the website is you have a couple of really nice options right here on the front page. One, once you are in here and you can sign in, you are able to activate and deactivate users based on your licensed site. So you can, in this particular case, see that there's only one active user, which is right here. You can add a new user, and it'll bring up that menu that you're familiar with seeing. And you will just save this. Now you'll see that the button to add a new user is gone away. And the reason that is because any site is is eligible to have 2 active users at any point in time. But if you get in here and sign in and say, wow, I'm not sure why Deborah's still on this, I'm going to deactivate her, you would just click that button. Now you've just got this active user, and you can add a new user. So this is a place that you can manage your site users. So down further is another great opportunity for you to personalize your web page that will be visible to families. So you can go in here and add or edit a description. You'll be able to upload a logo or upload a picture that you would like to represent your program. You also have a rich text option in here, so you can type in, or you can cut and paste something that you already have created. You can bold text in here. And once you have what you want in this area, again, you will save this information. What will happen at this point in time is that the Colorado Department of Human Services and our communications department, they will get an alert that you've updated this information, and then it will go through a quality assurance process. So we'll spell check it for you. We'll make sure that we get it sized appropriately for you, and then that is what will show up on your website. So real quickly, we want to also show you on this page that you can upload a picture. So you would just click here on this little image tab, choose a file, and then wherever your pictures are on your desktop or on your computer, you'll and for some reason, it does work. We've tested it often. It's the file that we chose was either taking too long or wasn't in the right format. But we haven't had any, too many people have any concerns with this. So actually, we tried to just load one up, and it was too large of a photo to load, but that's what you would need to do is just choose a file, go into your pictures over here, choose a picture, and insert it. And there you go. And that's Deborah, our communications person's adorable young son. So we will save that and move forward. So the next, so that is the home page, and that's the information that you can edit and update there. Then from that part, you'll want to start the application. And we're going to just be gathering demographic information about your program so we can best support you, and I will walk through this process with you. So on the program profile, we're going to ask you to tell us more. Are you a family child care home provider? Are you a center-based provider? Now, I know some folks may say, I'm not sure where, I'm a faith-based provider. I don't see that selection. So we just want you to know that this is how you're licensed in Trails. So you're licensed either as a home-based or a center-based provider. So right now, I'm going to choose center-based. And in this next section, you're going to tell us about the primary languages that are spoken in your program. So there's a drop-down here, And if it's other, you can choose other and let us know what that is. If your primary is English or maybe Spanish, you would just select that category. And I know some programs have multiple languages, so just select the one that is spoken most in your program. And then tell us a little bit about what kind of funding you have as far as supporting these particular programs. So I'm just going to quickly choose that I provide school readiness and infant toddler program, and I also am Colorado preschool. So you can select as many of these as are relevant to your program, or if you are not, or if none of these are relevant to your program and you only accept private pay families, then you would just check this box down here. Or if you do all of the above, check all of the above. So we're just wanting to learn a little bit more and be able to aggregately report what kinds of assistance we're providing to the families in Colorado. So you're going to, again, save. So we'll just go ahead and scroll down to this next section, and we're going to ask you to tell us about your program schedule. Are you open year-round? If yes, you're going to click the box here. Otherwise, you're going to tell me that you're open, and you always get a pop-up here. I might only be open August to May, or whatever is your program schedule. So now we're going to ask you to tell us about the hours that you provide care or are open. If you're Monday through Friday, you can click here and you can tell us that you're open, we'll say 6:45, which I know is a strange time for a lot of people, to let's say 5:45. So maybe you're open all of these times, and then once you save here, it will populate all the information for Monday through Friday. Now, if you are only a Monday through Thursday program, you can just undo the Friday, delete this, and that's the information that will be populated to show what services your program offers. Again, you're going to save. And if, for example, you are Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and you have different times because you have different sessions, just put in those different times in there. So under this section, we would just like to know, are you an accredited program? Yes, no. I'm going to put not accredited at this point in time. If you did say yes, you were accredited, there's a drop-down menu of some of the accreditations that we're reviewing. However, that is not an exhaustive list, but we want to know if you are accredited, by whom, and then the award dates. And then we also want to know a little bit more information about your program on the cultural linguistic diversity as well as health promotion. Now, we ask these questions just so that we can report back as to how many programs are providing these services. So if it's no or none, you can just leave it none. If it's yes, let us know. None of this information is just reported back to our partners in aggregate, meaning everybody's responses are tallied, and then we can report back on that. So I'm just going to click yes on these. Maybe I don't do no there. And I'll just read the question and answer it. I do want to let you know that you do not have to do this all in one sitting, that every time you save, you can actually sign out of the application and come back to it, and as long as you've saved your information, all of it will be there waiting for you for when you have a little extra time to come back and do this again. So once you've finished this page, you're going to click Next. And it's going to see it went from the program tab to the children's tab. Now we're going to have you ask us or tell us some information about the children that you serve. So I am going to populate some information here, and it's just as an example. Over here for ages, you can put the ages in days, weeks, months, or year. And what we're trying to get to here is not necessarily what you're licensed for so much as the children that you actually serve. So right now, the youngest is 6 weeks, and my oldest is 12 years. I also want to say at this point in time, we understand that this is a point in time, that these numbers and numbers of children change often. So we want to get information in here and just let us know currently the information that you have. And then we will ask you to periodically update this. So we aren't asking you to like go in and change this information every time that you have children age up a week or even a year. We will ask you to repopulate this information or edit it to make it correct right before a rating occurs, or on an annual basis. So so again, this isn't something that you'll be doing over and over. So I'm just going to go ahead and drop some quick numbers in here so you can see how this works. And I'm going to say I don't have any kids right now over that time period. So as you can see, you've got your save button here. You've also got it down below, I believe. So we're going to save right there. And you can see down here too, you can navigate forward and backward. You'll always have the save button here. You saved, so we're going to click next. And as you can see over on the side here, on the next sheet I'll show you, there's a progress bar letting you know that you have started these things. As you can see, we're in progress with the program profile, children, classrooms. As we worked through these change from not started to in progress. When it's completed, it'll actually show green for completed. So right now, the workforce area of the QRAS is just a page indicating that we are still working on the professional development information system and that it will be coming for use in the late March time period. So at this particular point in time, there's nothing you need to do on this page. And that's why over here on this tab, over here in the progress side, you're not seeing a workforce tab. So we'll just go ahead and click the next key down here below. But I always like to show this because I want you to see that when the PDIS is operable, you'll have a click button up here that says, show me my staff. You'll click that. And then all of your, all the staff that are registered for your license number will populate down here in this information. So it is a very cool and quick pull, and then you'll know that everybody's in the PDIS who needs to be there. And you'll also be able to use this page to identify whether or not maybe a staff member who has left your employee is still on there, so that you will be able to disassociate their employment with your particular license number. And again, we're not going to really cover the PDIS system today, but we wanted to let you know how that connects to the QRAS system. So I'm going to go ahead and click next. And now you'll see we're in the Classrooms tab. So this is probably the tab that's going to take you the most time at first. So I do like to walk through this to let you know how to add classrooms. Every classroom also needs to have an associated session, even if your classrooms are full-day programs. So here I'm going to add my infant room. and just I'm doing infant 1, and this classroom description is like super quick. You don't need to tell me all the wonderful things that are happening in infant room at this point. So this might be the South Wing infant room. It's just a quick descriptor, and you're going to save this classroom. Then you'll see that you've got this indicator right here, add a session. So you'll click that. Now you're going to tell me more information about your infant room. So my session name might be full day. And the description might be full day infants. My start time is 6:45. Okay. And my finish time, I'm going to just click over to PM, and I know that you're not open till 9, most of you. $7.45. So I have 5 students enrolled in this class. Maybe I have, 8 because I've got a couple of kiddos who share a spot. The highest number I have allowed would be my license number for this class, and I'm going to say it's 5. The youngest age served, 6 weeks, and my oldest, I'm going to say, is 14 months. Then you'll put in the birthday of the youngest child and the birthday of the oldest child, and this is helping us to establish really, when we come out to do an assessment, what tool we'll actually be using to assess your infant program. And generally that's, kind of one of those where you go, yep, that's easy, it's an ITERS tool. But when you get into the preschool ages and we have younger and older children, this will help us make sure that we're using the right tool. So I'm going to save this session. One thing I didn't do, I can always go back in and edit my session, or even delete it if I put the wrong information in. But again, if you'll tell me that this is a primarily English spoken language, sometimes we do Spanish language learning. I have one child in here that has high needs, and maybe it's a physical sensory. So anything that you can give us that will help us understand more about your program will be great in populating this information in sessions. Then you'll see down here, and once PDIS is fully operable, it will list all of your teachers here. You will just tell us which teachers, you'll click the teacher, and you'll click this arrow button, and it will put the teachers who are assigned to this classroom into this box over here. Again, I'm going to save. And I'm done with this one, so I'm going to go next. And I would go back to classrooms here because I still need to add, my toddler rooms, I need to add my preschool rooms, but it's the same process. You'll go in, you'll add a preschool room, and maybe this is a AM, PM room. You'll save it. And here you'll add a session. So you might add your AM session first and come back and then add your PM session here. Just as an example, we don't have to walk all the way through that, but that's how that works. And again, you'll select the teachers that belong in this or who are assigned to this particular classroom. As you can see, as we go along, we're in progress in all of these areas. So now it takes you over to the High Needs tab. So what we're trying to do is be able to report on to our stakeholders and partners, again, in aggregate, how many children that we're serving that have what has been defined as high needs. So let's say we have one CCAP baby 2 toddlers, and I've got 6. And then I think I also checked that I had CPP, so maybe I've got 4 CPP. I've got 1 child who has an IFSP, and I have 2 children that have IEPs. So once this information is populated, you're going to save. And then as you can see, then your numbers populate in there. So at this point, you've gone through all of this process and everything still says in progress. And I do this on purpose because I want to be sure I call this out, because why doesn't it say complete if I've done all this? So up here in this orange bar, when you're finished with a section, you're going to want to click this box to let us know that it's complete and ready to submit, and then your complete bar will show up. So we can navigate through this with these tabs up here. I'm going to click that my classrooms are complete. I'm going to click that the children are complete. Now I'm going to take a look at my nav bar again, and I can see now all of this. But now I need to make sure that my program profile is complete. So you will always have an opportunity to go in here and edit any information that you want to edit or re-add. And now, as you can see, all the components here are complete, and I am going to click the box that my application is complete at this point in time. Now, I'm getting a message up here saying that it must be complete before the application may be submitted. And that's because I haven't finished everything I need to do for level 2. So I'm going to show you this next, that after we've done the application piece, we can come over to this tab called level 2. So when we went through the PowerPoint, we talked about the quality indicator program self-assessment. And so right here under the Level 2 tab is the L2 Quality Indicator Program Self-Assessment. This is the same assessment that your licensing specialist will use. And again, this is for programs licensed as centers. So if we click on that tab and scroll down, you're going to see that your check is in here. So one of the things you need to know is that all of these boxes must be checked yes before your level 2 can be complete. However, if you just go through here and check everything yes, keep in mind that when your licensing specialist comes in and does the same thing, they may see that, oops, one of these is actually a no. And so I urge you to go through and use this as a tool to really self-reflect on where you are with these programs, these components, these quality components. One thing I do want to point out here is if you don't have infants and toddlers, you can click this box and it will collapse all the sections that are specific to infants and toddlers. If you do, you would leave it open. Same thing if you don't serve preschool, you can scroll down here and you can collapse any of those preschool indicators right here. So it's just a way to save you a little time if this particular section isn't pertinent to your program. So we'll go up and we'll just go through a few of these questions. Are you modeling language to children? And you're going to say, yes, this is going really well in my program. Are you using a pleasant tone? Yes. Do our staff ask children open-ended questions? Yes. Each infant toddler classroom shall have at least 6 books and accessible. So here's an example where you might go, no. I actually know I need to get additional books in my infant classroom. So you can click on Add a Comment, and you can add a comment that says, order additional infant books. And this again is for your use. You'll save your comment. And then you'll go ahead and scroll through and answer yes or no. You don't need to add comments, but you can see your comment is right in here. So this is really meant to be kind of a planning tool for you to prepare to do these things before so that you'll have a complete level 2 application. Now, let's say that you went ahead and ordered those books and you got them in and they're in the classrooms. You can always go back and edit this comment, and you can say, books have been placed in the classroom, and I'm going to mark this yes. So now you've got all of your yeses, because everything else we're going to mark a yes. And you would then, that's just for going through all here, you would just mark yes or no on all of these, like I said, and you're going to save this. You can save at the top or the bottom. And you can say, my assessment is complete, and we may get a message saying you haven't done it. Okay, very good. And see right here, it says, if you missed a question, you have questions in the self-assessment that have not been answered. Please check that all the answers are there before submitting. So if you do miss a question, you will get that message there, and then you can kind of just scroll down and go, oops, yep, I missed this one. And I will go ahead and populate this information so that we can see what it says when you're done. And this is when I wish I had my mouse. So as you can see, as I pointed out in the PowerPoint, those topics of that we're collecting those quality indicators on include things like nature and science, furnishings for comfort, promoting acceptance of diversity. You'll just read through the question and answer it based on what is happening in your program. You will not need to do this for each classroom. You're just going to be doing this as a program assessment. However, when licensing team comes in, they will be doing this for each classroom. Oh my goodness, this is, okay. So we've gotten through that and we've saved it. Now we can see that section, you have questions in the stuff that have not been answered. So I missed one somewhere. I'm going to check that. And now it says, thank you for completing the program assessment. You have met the standards for level 2. So once you have met the standards for level 2, and there is a section of level 2 that includes having your team members complete 10 hours of training that will be housed in the Professional Development Information System. Because that system is not up and running just yet, again, late March will be that time period, you will have an opportunity to do that at that particular point in time. So once you've completed all your level 2 activities, I want to show you this quality improvement plan. This is a plan that will need to be completed online in order for you to be eligible for your quality incentives. There are quality incentives associated with participation in the QRIS system. So if you are choosing to move from a level 1 to a level 2, at the completion of level 2, when the licensing specialist has indicated that you've met all of the level 2 requirements, you'll be able to say, well, that's great, and I am now eligible for quality incentives. In order for you to get your quality incentives, you need to complete your quality improvement plan. There are instructions here, and actually on every page you're going to find text that helps step you through this process. However, sometimes you just need to pick up the phone and ask a question. But we have tried to be pretty specific with how to navigate these pages. So you will see that this quality improvement plan matches the same standards that are in the QRIS design. So there's workforce qualifications and professional development, family partnerships, leadership management and administration, the learning environment, child health, and then there's an optional points area. So I want to let you know in this area, you do not have to fill out a plan element for every one of these, but be thoughtful and specific about how you do want to develop your quality improvement plan, because this will be tied to the incentives that you request. So if it's your goal to to get some funding to help support family partnerships, you'll just choose family partnerships by clicking add a plan element, and then there's a drop-down menu that is relatable to the standards under the criteria under each standard. So engagement of families is one of my goals, and I want to align my goal with getting some funding to do a series of parenting classes. So you'll just type in what you're wanting to do, and I spelled nutrition wrong. You can also copy and paste information in here from an existing quality improvement plan, and you'll see right here this little clear formatting. Sometimes when you're in Word and you copy things over in Word and it's in bullet points or whatever, it copies over kind of strangely. So you can always just highlight your text, clear formatting, and then it'll put it in a format that'll be nice and clear in this particular area. You're always going to want to save. So that might be your one and only goal, and as you can see, it'll populate in here, or you may have another goal that you want to include under learning environment. So add a plan element. And in here you use your drop down, and it's about a goal that you have under the environmental rating scale. So here you're going to want to maybe put infant classrooms need additional soft toys. And again, up here in the status and priority, you can put that this is an in progress and it's a high priority, medium, or low. You'll save it. And look, I've got an error message that I need to select a criteria. So I'm going to select criteria right here. So it's keeping me honest here. Save it. So now I've got my two goals, and actually these are the two goals I just really want to focus on. I don't need to add extras, but you can add as many goals in here as that you are currently working on, and then click that your QIP is complete. Now I want to show you this other area. When your licensing specialist comes out and they collect these quality indicators from your program, you will be able to see the results of that right here on this tab. This is L2 Site Visit Assessment. So you can click on this tab here, let the page refresh here. And you can see that right here, open a PDF version of the report. So right here, once your licensing specialist goes out, you can go right here and open, and the page is just taking a little time to load. And this should look very familiar to you. So again, this is what maybe an ROI would look like if you had a licensing visit and you had any compliance issues that you needed to address. Here, it would indicate if there were any quality indicators that you need to address. One thing I want to make sure that you understand is that this is not regulatory. Unless you are wanting to attain a level 2, then if there was an item in here that said Infant Classroom 2 needed additional books, then you would be able to just know that that's the portion you want to work on. But this report will be right here. We are working to connect the licensing system, what you may know as their workflow system, into the QRIS system. So once we have those connections, which it will be in the January to February time period, you'll actually be able to respond to this online. So if you respond within 30 days, another visit will not be needed, and you can just let the licensing specialist know how you met this quality indicator, and then they will mark your quality indicator as yes and be able to say everything's complete with the level 2 piece and issue a level 2 quality rating to your site. And I just lost my feed. So this happens. I'm going to sign in. I'm hoping I remembered my password here. It doesn't like that. Okay, so we're back up and running again. I apologize for that. So that was the application process, the level 2 tab, and those things. Now I want to just point out that the levels 3 through 5 tabs are not complete yet, so we're not going to go over that today. And then once you have completed your level 2 portion, you'll see a 2 that pops up in here, and you'll be able to access your quality incentives through this tab. And again, we have not finalized the application for that yet. The dollars for those QI incentives will start to come out in the July timeframe. So it'll give you time once PDIS is up and running late March to the end of June to get your level 2 pieces complete, and then you'll be able to apply for those QI incentives. We are working with our local early childhood councils to support programs with this QRIS process and to distribute the QI incentives, so they will be supporting that portion of the system. So at this time, we're doing a quick time check here, and it's a little after 2. We scheduled time till 2:30, and we want to give you guys some opportunities to ask some questions. So if you want to go ahead and just type in any questions into the chat box. we'll try to answer all your questions here. And if you have some specific questions that you want to talk to a Colorado Shines professional, we have an 800 number as well. Can we expand that? So thank you guys for responding earlier. We weren't even seeing these until just now. So there is a question. There's a question about what early childhood councils, what will they be able to share with individual sites? And certainly any of this information is up and running and able to be shared as well as supported. There is a question about how do I create a login if I'm not a licensed facility, but am supporting a facility. So if the facility has a space for you to create a user, you would be able to do that. You would need the license number to do that. But you would be one of their two folks that is signed in. So you would work directly with the program manager, director there to create a login. So you need a license number to create a login. And then there's also a question about, oh, it's gone. Oh, okay. So the number of children served, would that be the ratios used in the classroom? And no, actually, that would just be the number of children, because lots of programs have, you know, maybe they're licensed for 12, but they have 24 because of, you know, part day schedules and things of that. So we're really just trying to get the number of children that are being served in the classroom. So somebody asked us to repeat the information about Head Start and Early Head Start programs. So if you are a Head Start grantee or delegate program, you have no findings. So you're not triennial, I got to get that vernacular out. So your Head Start review is clear. And or if you had a finding, it's been cleared, then you will be able to crosswalk into Colorado Shines at a quality level 4. So currently what's showing up in the website now is if you sign in and actually search for your program in the website, you will see that your quality level is populated in there. And then there is a question, just to confirm, we are not required to become level 2 or higher quality rated. Yes, that is absolutely correct. So if you are a licensed provider now and this just isn't for you, at least at this point in time, you are not required to move further. We do want to let you know, though, for those who are moving forward, there are the quality incentives available to you. Those quality incentives do look like coaching support, technical assistance, and grants that will help you on this journey to move quality forward. However, we know that there's 4,800 programs in the state that are eligible to participate, and not everybody's going to want to come in this first year or jump right into this. So we want to be sure that you understand that it is not required to move beyond a level 1. There is a question about, can you print the assessment? All of the documentation in here is PDF, and you should be able to print that. I also want to mention, too, that the we talked a little bit about the requirement of the coursework that will be required for level 2, and that can also be used to meet your 15 hours of licensing requirements for your annual hours. So there's a question, would you recommend that programs focus on staff, PDIS, preparations or program QRIS first? And actually, that's a great question. Thank you for asking that. You can actually do both, because staff are really, they should be focused on preparing for PDIS. And so that would be, you know, getting their transcripts pulled together, making sure they have a unique email address, getting their hours and things, you know, pulled together and ready to go. And that can be their individual kind of getting ready activity, whereas the program QRIS piece, this is really more probably for the administrators on the phone to start the process of just doing the application and walking through this, what we just did today, and that's kind of your starting point. So really it's up to you, but there'll be but again, you can kind of do them simultaneously. So the 800 number, we want to make sure that everybody has that so that you can call and ask us a question that's specific to your program. I do want to just say we're getting lots of great phone calls right now. We ask that you give us about a 24-hour time period to turn it around, but we're trying our very, very best to get to everyone quickly. So that number is 1-844-447-4441. And it is on the Colorado Shines website, so you can find it there. You can also email in your questions to cdhs_shines@state.co.us. So there's a question about, is this information available to parents? Some of the information is available. So your name, you know, where you're located, and we could, if you sign into coloradoshines.com and you do a quick search, do we have that up? We can show. I think that's a great thing to show. We'll show you what parents can see. What parents will not see is all of the demographic information you gave us around numbers of children and, you know, your CPP numbers and all of those things. So it's really just high-level information. What a parent will see is if you are or aren't a quality-rated program at this point in time. So we are showing right now how you can type in and look for a program right here. And then what you'll see is this front page. And if you click on the building blocks childcare, this is the information that a parent would see. Your hours of operation, whether or not you accept CCAP funding, what ages you serve, languages spoken, the license name and the license number. And then there's a map to show parents how to get to your program. So this is one of those things that, you know, if you take a little time and update that web information, they would also see your, you know, personalized information about your program and your logo if you update a logo or a photo. So we'll go back to our questions. There was a question about You stated that centers who have a rating of 2 through 4 will cross into Colorado Shines at a level ? So if you are a QualiStar rated program with a 2-star, a 3-star, or a 4-star, you'll come into the Colorado Shines at a level 2, 3, or a 4. So it's a straight crosswalk, and you'll remain it there until you your current QualiStar rating expires, and at that point in time, then you will rate under the new Colorado Shines design. Mm-hmm. There is a question from Stephanie. Is there a way to note that we are a preschool even though our license says that we are a daycare? And the reason your license says that you are a daycare is because there's some old licenses out there that were licensed that way. And you can always go into the Colorado Shines in that home page where you can edit to put in your website and those sorts of things, and you can create a doing business as name. So that's where if you were Betty's Daycare, but you're really Betty's Preschool, you can put in your doing business as Betty's Preschool. So there's a question about levels 3 through 5. You need an Eckers or an ITERS done. Who does the rating? So the rating will actually be done by a Colorado Shines assessor. The QualiStar Colorado actually won the RFP to do these ratings, and so they are being trained to be Colorado Shines assessors, and they will come on site to do this. I want to be sure that everybody is well aware that there is no fee for any of this to the program. The state will be absorbing the fees and the cost of this program so that we can ensure that you have nobody has a roadblock to participation, because that has been shared with us in the past that the previous rating was really just too expensive to afford, so you won't have that as a roadblock. And then in addition, you'll also be able to access quality incentives. So quality incentives will come to a program at the completion of level 2, and will come to a program again at the completion of a level 3 through 5. If a program is crosswalking into Colorado Shines at a level 3 through 5, you will also be able to access quality incentives at that point. Those won't be available until about the July timeframe. But I do want people to understand that they will be coming. There is a question about licensing visits versus quality ratings. Licensing visits will not change as you know them. They will continue to happen. I do want to let you know that for those who are on like a 2-year or a 3-year cycle, you will go to like an 18-month cycle, but licensing visits will still occur. And we can get back to her. So there's a question about where can we obtain the level 2 training. So the level 2 trainings are actually going to be living on the Professional Development Information System. And at this point in time, the PDIS system is not available until the end of March. So I apologize that there's a gap right now, but we're testing these trainings right now to make sure that they're working well. We don't want to roll anything out that's not quite ready for you to access. And so look for communication in the springtime as to when you will be able to access those and start to work on them. However, that being said, you can still complete your application. You can still do your quality self-assessment check and all the things we walked through today as a lead up to getting ready for those trainings to be available. Again, there's no cost for those trainings to the program. When there's a couple of questions about how teachers come into the process, and I want to just defer a little bit on those. We will have another session around how the professional development information system is going to work, but if a teacher currently has a credential now, then there will be then they'll crosswalk into the PDIS with their current credential. They'll also be able to apply for the new credential. And again, we'll have more information for you about that in a later webinar. So there's a question about, I manage several sites. Can I register multiple sites with one QRIS login? And Dawn asked me that question. And Dawn, at today, no, but in the very near future, yes. We're working with our developer right now as to what that looks like, and there should be, within a few weeks, a request for a login that would allow you to see multiple sites. So for now, you'd have to sign in to each particular program and be a user. And unfortunately, you can't use the same email address. So there's a little bit of we're a little behind in that. There's, so anyway, just look for some additional information about that. I want to be sure that people understand that we are not rating, the school age programs in particular are not participating in this. This system is a system that's supporting programs serving children prior to kindergarten. So the school age portion of that is not occurring at this time. However, I do want to let you know that teachers certainly can participate in the professional development information process and, you know, have access to the trainings and all of that information. There's a question about CCAP. Will CCAP be paying according to your level? So if you are in a county right now that is tiered reimbursement and you are a quality level, you know, like a star 3, and you're getting reimbursements based on that, you'll be getting reimbursements based on your quality level 3. There's a question about NAEYC accredited programs. So we should be making announcements towards the end of the month as to where the accredited programs that have applied will be coming in to the program. So hang tight, Beverly. That will be coming out quickly. And then there's a question about can you request that a licensing specialist come out to visit so that you can move through the levels. And Kathleen, thank you so much for asking this question. So for a program who's working through level 2 and they're waiting for a licensing visit, I've got great news for you, because you can go ahead and self-report. Your licensing specialist will still be looking for all the documentation, but you can be issued a level 2 rating without having an on-site visit. That being said, you will eventually have an on-site visit within that 18-month time period, and if there's anything that doesn't match, say for example you had a no in your program assessment, you still have the opportunity to you know, cure that and retain your level 2. And those programs who want to go quickly through the process, I want to get through level 2 so I can apply for level 3 through 5, nothing's going to hold you up from that. So even if your licensing specialist cannot get out and visit prior to being issued, you know, upon being issued a level 2, you can go ahead and apply for a level 3 through 5 assessment. No idea what she's asking. So I'm doing a quick time check. We've got about 2 minutes left, and I see that there's lots more questions that we may not get to today. And there are a couple of things I just want to go through quickly. There's a misconception actually I've heard it several times, that if you don't serve CCAP children, you cannot participate in the QRIS or it's not paid for. So I want to let you know that the playing field is level for everyone. We do have an emphasis in trying to support programs who are serving CCAP children, raise their quality levels. But if you're not serving CCAP children, you can still participate in QRIS. You still have access to the quality incentives, and you still you'll get into a rating queue just like everybody else will. So wanted to be sure, if you're hearing that, to please let people know this is a system for all of our licensed providers who are serving children up to through the age of kindergarten. So at this point, we have reached the end of our webinar. We'll filter through some more of these questions to see if there's anything that's not already on our FAQs, and we will be adding information there. You have the email address, cdhs_co_shines@state.co.us, and you have the 800 number, which is 1-844-447-4441. And you can submit specific questions for us to get back to you on. Thank you all very, very much. Again, apologize for our technical difficulties at the beginning of the webinar. Let us know if there are additional webinars or trainings that you would like to receive right away, and we'll start to work with the early childhood councils to try to support getting additional information out to you. Thank you so much. This is an exciting time for Colorado, and we're very happy that you're here with us taking this journey and coming along. So thank you so much. Have a great afternoon.